absolute fire. You've seen the numbers up there. And, of course, Ramon's joined us tonight, this afternoon here for a segment. Ramon, what's happening?
Yeah, sweating another one out, just like everybody else here. Laying Baylor with these points. Looks like they'll get there, and that'll be 3 in a row today to start the day. 3 games, 3 winners on premiums. Can't, I don't know, I could slow down a little bit, I guess.
No. I mean, no, I'm glad you brought that up because I listened to the show this morning, and I know it's always a topic of conversation. How many picks? And the conversation is even on both sides. If sometimes, you put in 3 to 6 plays. Well, that's not enough. You put in 15. That's too many. It's it's just you're not gonna it's gonna be difficult to satisfy. But I will say this. I will kind of coach the public out there. If you do the math, you can see and remember we've talked about this because I put this work order in, and I think now this is going to move to the top because I did tell you guys this. We should put the average amount of picks per capper on the profile page. Didn't I not say that? Right? We had mentioned that, right? We should put past 30 days average amount of picks so the customers can see the amount of picks average per day for a 30-day period on the profile page. I think that would help some of the folks out there.
Well, hey, Tony, just like anybody also, when you're feeling hot, you kind of step it up. I mean, it's only natural, and that's what I'm doing. This is the moment we've all been waiting for. This is March Madness, and if you're rolling, you step on the gas pedal. Look, if someone goes having a rough span, they're going to dial it back probably just out of now. Yeah, I guess there's the impulsive. But I'm talking from a professional handicapping standpoint, just like anybody. If I go into a little tailspin, I dial it back. If you're hot, we're going for it. Right now, we're going to get this another one here. I think we just did. So 3 in a row. We're going to fire tonight. 7 more games and roll. We're rolling, Tony.
Yeah, Baylor almost made my. I mean, that almost made my. The only thing that kept me away from it was their defense. But Santa Barbara did not play any team from a major conference. Can you believe that? You go the entire non-conference, and then they throw Baylor at you.
I watched a lot of their games this year. Santa Barbara, nice club. I like Miles Norris. He's my guy, but not in the category with Baylor. And, we'll talk about Baylor kind of in a moment. We do. How about this game you have lined up for me because of Coach Tang?
That's right. Montana State here and Kansas State tonight here in the action tonight. We got Montana State's a dog here. Kansas State here going to be laying 7.5. The total sits 139.5.
I mean, I would throw Coach Tang in there. National Coach of the Year candidate probably was. I mean, they did a great job here first year. We took over at Kansas State. He really didn't have much to work with. He had Marquise Knoll still there, the former Little Rock player who'd been there at Kansas State, and you had him. He had another guy. Basically, had nobody. Had to get some players to get rolling with the season for Kansas State. So, what did he do? He went out and started with you got Keontae Johnson. You might remember. People might remember Keontae Johnson. Why do I remember? Remember, he's the player that collapsed on the court for Florida, and I don't say uncomfortability there, but Florida wasn't going to make the court again for Florida. But a young man deserved a chance, and on Tuesday he was named third-team All-American for Kansas State, as was Marquise Knoll, the guy who hung around and now has a all-time single-season record at Kansas State with 243 assists. He also was named third-team All-American this week. Kansas State had a great year, 23-9. No doubt about it. They were hot down the stretch, but then they stumbled a bit with a couple of losses. They started the season 15-1, but were bounced out of the Big 12 tournament by TCU 80-67. They allowed 44% to the Frogs from three-point range in that one, but they do come in averaging 75.5 points a game and allowing 69. They are considerable favorites here, as you see there on your screen. 7.5 point favorite here against the Bobcats, but that's gone down. I definitely say the move here is on Montana State. Now I'm looking at the total here in this one, of course, and for Montana State, what a year and what a talk about great coaching, right? Danny Spring, they went 27-8 last year. You might remember Montana State; they were in the tournament last year. They faced a Big 12 team, Texas Tech. Maybe I don't know where you might equate last year's Texas Tech team with this K-State team. K-State's a 3 seed here. Montana State, they're still down there, 14 seed. Well, what happened? Montana State allowed 97 points in that game to Texas Tech and lost 97 to 62. But as a great handicapper likes to say, but I'm here to tell you, much improved defense from Montana State this year. They're not going to give up 97 to Kansas State. They're improved. They might not be that improved, but you figure Kansas State, a team averaging 75.5 points a game against a pretty naughty schedule, maybe they'll get to 80 today, right, and get there. That would really be, especially if we're talking about an 8.5 point favorite. I got Montana State able to hang in this game, Tony. Raekwon Battle, first team All Big Sky, guy who does not pass. He's talking about shooting your shot. Me and Raekwon Battle, we're together. We don't pass up any shots. Okay, he loves to shoot and he loves to score. He's a very good player, Raekwon Battle. Also, they've got Tyler Balo. He's second team All Big Sky, and also the defensive player of the year in the Big Sky, Darius Brown. I think this team is much improved defensively. They can keep K-State, down there in the high 70s, maybe to get to 80. I'm not sure, but Montana State has gone over in 4 of their last 5 games. They average 74 points a game. Consider the Big Sky Conference. Maybe take that down a notch or two, but they shoot 47%. They're kind of a team that likes to go inside and hey, if they can draw fouls, you're talking about one of the top 10 free throw shooting teams in the country, Montana State. So, great story in Bozeman this year, going back to the tournament, second straight year. When spring took over, they were a 500 team for a couple of seasons through the pandemic year, but making the tournament last year, 27-8, 25 wins again this year, and winning the conference tournament second year in a row. They beat Northern Arizona in that conference championship game. They shot 50%. Went 6 of 10 from downtown. Like I said, they like to play inside, good forwards. Kind of plays a little bit into some of the things that K-State can't do defensively. So I've got Montana State staying in this game, Tony, probably well within single digits here. Maybe a scare, I'm not sure. I think K-State's a pretty clutch team. Johnson, great experience. The team doesn't have a lot of experience playing together, but the team was built with a lot of experienced players, a lot of what you see with some of these teams around the country in the tournament, players who came in and got with a new coach at Kansas State, and they've turned it into a great season. So they allow 69 a game, K-State. So I would think Montana can, possibly get to close to 70 in this one, considering their average, considering they're playing up in class. And the 97-62 loss to Texas Tech looks bad. Certainly, if you look at, hey, you're heading into the game, are they really going to lose by 35? But that was a tremendous amount of this team is a lot of experience. Montana State now they've built for this moment. It's gonna be tough to win this game, but they can score here, make it a good game against K-State. I'm on a lot of unders today, not this one, Tony. I'm going over 140 between the Bobcats and the Wildcats. Ow!
Yeah, the battle between the Cats, Bob and Wild, are going at it. We'll see who wins this one. But yeah, Montana State team that had they got a little caught a little break catch in Northern Arizona. There, we made a lot of noise about that Big Sky tournament last week, right around this time, and they were able to have a good shooting performance there in a back-to-back night there against NAU. But again, this will be the second major conference school. It will be the second major conference school they played. They faced Oregon, had trouble scoring there. They faced Arizona, had trouble getting some points on the board. But again, a lot of time has changed since the November and December.
Yeah, like I said, Raekwon Battle, definitely a good scorer here, no doubt about it. And I just think they can close the gap on that margin from last season. They do have some pretty good shooting performances of late, and again, it's all going to be determined by the experience. And I say they're an experienced team coming in. I don't just mean this season, of course. I mean this team has been together a little bit, waiting for this moment. So tough, tall order, but again, interestingly, the game was as high, what, as 8.5 or so. You see it right there on screen right now, 7.5. I don't see, Joe Square running up to the window maybe and want to take this 14 seed necessarily off a 35-point loss in last year's opening round of the tournament. K-State last year won a couple of games, and then I believe well, I'm trying to. I don't want to quote that now. I'm trying to remember actually off the top of my head. So I got Montana State to hang in there also. They got a good six-man in Ozabor, and Tyler Patterson comes off the bench, can shoot the three as well. So I just have Montana State. Enough weaponry here. I think the defense will be exposed a little bit, and that's where the difference in class will come into play. K-State's the one that will take this one over the top. I'm going to call it, 78, 72 range, somewhere in there.
All right, Ramon here. Montana State and Kansas State over total of 140. This one will have a start time here of 9:40 Eastern time. All right, Ramon, let's take a look over at Tony'sPicks.com for today's action. We've been talking about Ramon's marks have been on fire here. The 39, about 4,000 units of profit for 2023. Of course, these numbers could be changed. I'm seeing already now 48.97 here. There's been absolute fire, approaching now 5,000 units of profit for Ramon over at Tony'sPicks.com on his handicapper page. I'll go ahead and put that in. It's massive numbers improvement here from Ramon here. As he said, he's having a fantastic day. This is a 24-hour clock. All right, Ramon, lots of action tonight up on the board here. We've got NBA here with an 8-game card. We still have about, 8? We got 8 games plus about 11 more in college hoops, as well as hockey. What do you have going on over at the site?
Yeah, never going to stop firing, Tony, on the NCAA tournament. Already winners today. Got to let you know, we were on MSU in that opener. We were on Kennesaw plus the points. We were on Baylor. So 10-3 so far over the first 2 days. Hope that's not too much action for you. Get with me. You're going to be in action when you get my packages over at Tony'sPicks.com. From the first tip to the final buzzer, I'm hooked to have you in action. Not every game, but man, this is the moment we've all been waiting for. And when you're hot like that, you keep firing, and that's what we're going to do. So pick up my 3-day, pick up my 7-day. Those sales have been skyrocketing of late for me. Appreciate everybody, all those subscribers. Take a look at the handicapper leaderboard. You can see how much volume I'm playing. I got to do 3 times the work. Tony's been busy trying to fix the show on the technical graphics. He's still picking 67% right now. If I could pick 67%, I might just throw a few games up there. But I need volume in order to produce these kind of numbers. And when you're hot, you want to step up a little bit. Step up your plays. Step it up in size. Don't go crazy. We're always just kind of easing it away, right? Your play should be 1.25, maybe 1.5 units when we're stepping on it, right? We're just grinding here. They're Tony's picks, not Tony's bombs, not Tony's whale plays, not Tony's locks. These are just consistent, steady winners day in and day out. That's the grind. I play the board like a Monopoly or chess, Tony. I'm looking at the whole picture, not just zeroing in on one game. There's just too much luck involved sometimes in some of these results. I see it all the time. I see what's going on in the chat. I'm upset too. We're all upset when it goes against us. But you know what? When you get dealt that bad river card, you just got to fold your hand when the guy check raises you 3 times the pot, and you just buck your hand and move on to the next one and take those small pots, rake those small pots in, and just be ready when you're ready, when you have the nuts to go all in. So over at Tony's Picks today, Tony, I've got a 3-pack in the NBA. We're not ignoring this 3-game card, and I'm also looking maybe at a late game, but just 3 games on the NBA card. Mindy and I had some agreements on the show today on the morning's team that we have packaged up as well, but you can get those on the show. 3-pack, $30 NBA over at Tony'sPicks.com. And NCAA March Madness still to come, Tony. Games coming up here, about to get underway. I'm also involved in one of the other games going right now, but a three-pack still to come. Late night and also a three-pack late afternoon action is the way I have it broken up right now. If you grab the 3-day or the 7-day, I think you're going to get an extra play or two before that, but just kind of broke the packages down a little bit. So if anybody wanted to get a taste of what I'm talking about, grab one of these 3-packs. One of them is for kind of the earlier set of games, and then one is for the 3 late night games. And Mindy and I are also involved in some of the NCAA games today over at the Morning Steam Show that you can pick up or over here at Tony'sPicks.com, or just go back and watch the shows, watch all of our videos, Tony's videos as well. So gonna keep it rolling tonight, Tony. It's all I can do. I'm excited right now with all the tournament action, and the other thing about playing the volley, we're running out of games, and this is supposed to be one of the best sports to pick off the winners. So we got to find the spots, keep firing. I'm looking at every single game on the card. So that's why we're going the way we are right now and going strong. A lot of sides today for me. Usually, I'm heavy in totals, but all my first 3 games were sides. So maybe that's the way you don't set it out that way. You just look at the game, see what you think, and that's the way it's evolved. And 3 winners so far. So let's keep it rolling tonight. Hope to join you back on Monday after a great weekend and tell you that I kept it going, boss.
That's right, guys. Got aboard with Ramon Scott over at Tony'sPicks.com. Put up the numbers again for you. Here you see 4,897 units of profit, 2023. All talking over at Tony'sPicks.com. Tonight, Ramon in action, NCAA tournament. Of course, he's got a late afternoon 3-pack. Get on board there. First game starts in 3 hours. Also, late night 3-pack, so you're ready to roll here with Ramon Scott. Also, we're not the NBA. It's an 8-game card night. Ramon has found a 3-pack there as well, so get on board. Now, instead of buying all these plays individually, you just want the entire NCAA tournament, where you can get on board with Ramon with that monthly all-sports pass. Get all Ramon's premium plays here for 30 days. That's all his NBA. Of course, all his college basketball. And don't forget, we got a lot of NIT, CBI action to fill up that Saturday and Sunday card, as well as NHL. And of course, you'll get about the first 2.5 weeks of baseball. Baseball is less than 2 weeks away, or less than 2 weeks. It starts in late March this year. I'll also note peripheral sports. We're in the knockout stages here of the World Baseball Classic. So if Ramon sees a premium there, that may be in the members area as well. Also, he'll be in action with the UFC card. He does a UFC podcast. He's qualified in UFC, knows that sport very well. As things get to slow down next week, maybe he'll look at some of the tennis. He does get involved in some of the peripheral sports. Maybe sometimes he looks at some of the soccer. But that's an added bonus for you guys when you get on board with Ramon on that 1-month all sports pass. The promo code is TonyT at checkout, and you'll save 20% off. We've done the math for you. You'll save $66 on that 1-month all sports pass when you use that promo code at TonyT at checkout. You can access Ramon's page by clicking the link you see there in the description. Click the All Cappers tab and go ahead and get signed up, and you'll land right on Ramon's page. And then, of course, you'll be able to find the long-term passes or the one-day passes. So go ahead and get signed up. All right, Ramon, we also put together a Twitter account for you over at Tony's Picks Ramon. Lots of coverage there in the Discord. And, of course, you guys put together a Friday morning steam.
Yeah, we'll be back tomorrow with more morning steam as well over the weekend. But yeah, we did a show today. We'll probably come back tomorrow as well, or next Friday as well, just for the NCAA tournament. And yeah, we'll be back tomorrow, preview the games. Man, we'll be down to 16 after this weekend, so we'll be there tomorrow previewing each of the, well, not each of the 8 games, probably a handful of games. Also look at the NBA and NHL. On the show today on NHL, I don't have a premium, but I kind of promised that 2 of the games I gave out on the show were premiums this morning. Mindy went the other way on the totals, and I had already zeroed in on some premiums, so I just said, hey, you know what? We're going to give out a couple of sharp plays, ones that I really liked. So go back and check out the hockey portion of the show, or the whole show, please, of the morning steam. Otherwise, come by 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific on the Tony's Picks YouTube channel and check out Mindy Hahn and I and the chat. Don't forget all their great plays. You could just have your phone ready if you watch on the phone and just start clicking away on some of these guys and their plays on the screenshot. All my job is now is putting up everybody's comment on the screen. I don't want to say it's just an easy job now, but everyone's got such great comments. It's a lot of fun as well. We're going our bracket challenge. I'm already kind of out. I'm tearing up my brackets, Tony, but I'm not tearing up my tickets. That's for sure. So get with me at Tony'sPicks.com. I got a couple video plays embedded in the site. More women's action. I got a couple plays on the ladies' side. So check that one out. One's in the South Dakota State USC game, and another one's in the Mississippi State and Creighton game in ladies' action. So Mindy, check that one out. The Lady Blue Jays against Mississippi State tonight. Sounds like a good matchup. Creighton's favored. What's going to happen? Check it out. And Tony, you mentioned some of the things for this weekend. We'll mention, the World Baseball Classic. They have elimination game today, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. If you want to be able to mix this one in with your basketball, it's a really good game. No premium yet. Not sure. Good game. Puerto Rico and Mexico. Also, Tony, one note, UFC is from London this week, so it's going to go off at 1 Eastern, 1 p.m. Eastern, noon Central, and 10 a.m. Pacific. That's about 5 hours earlier than normal. So I'm going to have a card in UFC. Please, everyone, make note of that time schedule in the UFC this weekend, especially since for my subscribers, and we'll have a premium card there as well. Pick up my free plays at Ramon. At Tony's Picks Ramon on Twitter to get one of those free plays in ladies action. I hope I covered it all. Have a great weekend, Tony. Please subscribe to my picks if at all you're struggling or having trouble navigating these first couple of rounds, because those picks are documented, Tony. The way it works, we enter it in the back end just like it's a sports book kind of, right? And they have to do it usually several hours in advance, and those numbers certainly, they speak for themselves right now. I'm pretty much crushing this college board at this point, and the hoop is 10 feet wide. Let's see, over the last week here, 38 and 21. So pretty easy to see. That's a pretty strong percentage there, up over close to 1,500 units over the last 7 days. So please join me at Tony'sPicks.com. Use that promo code TonyT at checkout. Saves you 20%.
That's right, get on board with Ramon Scott. You see the promo code there, TonyT at checkout. Save 20%. Access Ramon's page by click the link you see in the description. Click the All Cappers tab and go ahead and get signed up. Ramon, it's always great having you on the show. See that great success, and we'll catch up with you again on Monday.
Okay, thank you.
You got it. Ramon Scott here on Game Day Picks. Guys, we're with you here on